Hi, this is Dan Hark here for Bloom 360, and what we're going to be looking at during the course of this e-session, we're going to be having a play with Visual Composer. Now, hopefully you and I have sat down together and we've done a bit of a training session, and this video should be more or less a refresher. If this is the first time that you've encountered Visual Composer in the context of WordPress, then try and keep up. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first up is we'll create a new page. Welcome to the back end. I'm sure you've seen this before. We'll come over to our Pages menu and we'll just click Add New. And this new page that we're going to create is going to be a little bit of a sandbox, so we're just going to get our fingers dirty. Alright, so we'll just wait for the new page to load. Okay, we've seen this before. Alright, so the title of the page, we'll give it one. So we'll call it Cool New Page. Okay, very good. We're halfway there. Well, actually, we're not quite halfway there. All right, let's get rid of this. All right, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to realize that what we've got right now is just native WordPress functionality. So this editor here that you can see, that's just normal WordPress. What we want to do is we want to switch on Visual Composer. You'll notice that when I put in some text here and I'll hover over it, I don't get my magic green menu. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you in just a second. The way that we turn on Visual Composer is we click on this button over here that says Backend Editor. It's a little bit mysterious. It's not a title that sort of explains what it does. But once we click on that, it brings up our Visual Composer stuff. We can go back to the way it was a second ago just by clicking on it once more. We can go back and forth as long as we like. Alright, so we are in Visual Composer now. The first thing that it does, it asks us a couple of questions. It offers us some preordained layouts that we can have a play with if we like. I'm not going to go into these today, but from the comfort of your armchair at home, why not have a go? Alright, so it's asking us add an element or add a text block. Adding a text block is just a shortcut to predictably enough, adding some text. We're going to go the roundabout way about it. What we're going to add first is a row. Now I'm going to click this button, and what it's going to open up is the Visual Composer element library, or at least that's what I call it. Don't be put off by the number of elements here. Most of it you're never ever going to touch. There are a few that we are going to touch, and the first one is going to be row. The important thing to realize about Visual Composer is everything is split up into rows. So what's a comparable example? So it's like a book where the paragraphs are in rows. That's not a very good example. But anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. We have created a new row. Right now this row does not have any content in it, and we're going to change that by clicking this great big plus that's in the middle. The magic plus is what brings up the Visual Composer element library, and in this instance we're going to add some text. I'm going to click text block, and it goes and puts some text there for us. The next thing that it does is it opens up a Microsoft Word like editor window, and it allows us to edit some text, or edit the text. So I'm just going to give it a bit more text just for the fun of it, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that we're able to do, bold and italics, and it even lets us change the size of the text. We can do that. Let's put it back because that's a little bit over much. If you don't see some of these buttons, then the reason you don't see them is because this toolbar toggle thing, this tiny little button that does far too much for its own good, is deselected. So if you select that, you'll get some more options. Okay, so just remember that toolbar toggle thing. Alright, so we've got some text, we've formatted it a little bit, we've made it look just how we want it to look. I click Save Changes, and just for the fun of it, we'll have a look and see what we've got so far. I'm going to come over here and click Publish. So remember, you must always click Publish. If you don't click Publish, then what you've done to the website up to this point is not going to be committed, and you'll have lost your changes. So the text editor, save, and then publish, and then we'll be able to have a look at the page. I've got my link here, View Page, and there's another one over here. There's links all over the place for View Page. I'm just going to right-click that and open up a new tab. And we wait for our page to come up. It's not going to be very special, but you can see what's going on. I've got a bare bones template here, and here's our little bit of text. So let's go back and we'll make it a little bit more special. Let's put in a title. If I want to add a Visual Composer element at the top or the bottom, I've got these two plus signs here. I'm going to put something at the top because I'm going to make a title. And one more time, it's a text block. And it's just going to be a nice short little bit of text, and we'll just make it big. So let's call it Cool New Page. And you saw me do this a little while ago. We just change the size of the text, and then we click Save Changes. Okay, now we're not going to click update just yet because we're going to make some other changes. You can actually make a whole bunch of changes to the page and then click update at the end, and that's going to be a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient for you. Alright, so far we've added some text and we've added a heading. The next thing that we're going to add is an image. Sure, let's put in an image. Alright, so I'm going to put the image at the bottom below the text, so this time I'm going to click this plus sign below the text. So I'm going to click that, and one more time I've got my Visual Composer element library. We've already had a look at row and text block. What we're going to be looking at next is a single image. So it's always a little bit of a game of Spotto in this thing, but I found it pretty quickly this time. Single image. They're all in different places depending on when you load the screen up, so sometimes it's a bit hard to find things, but just be persistent. Alright, so we've clicked single image and another screen has come up. It's a little bit different to what we had for the text block, so this time it's predictably enough asking us what we want to display as an image. You'll see this nice inviting little green plus, and if we click on that it's going to let us select the image we want to display. And in this case we've got these foreboding is the word I was actually looking for, these foreboding mountains, and we'll select those and we'll say set image. And you can see here that it's getting ready to go and it's lined up the image. Now there's a couple of things that we can set here. The first thing that it's asking us is the image size. It's actually got some help text here at the bottom, so you're never quite alone. One of the ways you can play with these images is you can say you can specify the size by pixels. So in this case I've said 300 pixels wide by 600 across. 600 pixels wide by 300 pixels wide by 600 down. It's X by Y, so just in normal mathematical terms. And there's actually also some keywords here that you can use as well. Let's just call it large for this instance. You can see that the keyword large is there, as is full. Alright, so it's large. We'll say that we want to center the image, so we're going to align it to the center. And the rest of the stuff you can have a play with, but we won't bother with today. It's okay. And we click Save Changes, and we've got a single image here. Now, just to see how we're going, we'll click Update, and we'll refresh the page out on the website. So just wait for a little busy signal to finish. Okay, now if I click Refresh here, first off what we're going to see is we're going to have a title, and we're going to have our image as well. So, okay, so you can see we've got our title, and there's our image looking nice and large, which is what we specified. Alright, so what we'll do next is we'll add another element. What we'll do is we'll add a image gallery, because they're pretty cool and very useful also. Alright, one more time I'm going to be adding this to the bottom, so I'm going to click this plus. And we've already played with single image, and what we want now is an image gallery. I'm going to click on that. And this time we're going to have a slightly different screen open up. And the first thing it's asking us is what type of gallery we want. Now, because I've played this game before, I know the one that I want is an image grid. And that's just going to make a nice tight grid of images, each one a little thumbnail square. The next thing it's asking us is what images we actually want. So I'm going to click the plus. And as you saw before in our media library, we haven't got enough images loaded for an image library. An image gallery. So I'm just going to upload some, just very quickly. So I'll go into my stock photo library and details, and get the nice small ones. Okay, so hopefully these will be suitable. We'll just upload those. And then we click open, and they should upload pretty quickly because they were all pretty small. Okay, how are we going? Depending on how long this takes, I'm either going to skip this part of the video or I'm not. Looks like it's going alright so far. You can see that as the images upload, there's a tick in the corner of each one, and if we decide that we don't want a particular image, say we don't like this one, we just click the tick and it's gone from the image gallery. Alright, so how many we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A nice even number is always good. And with that, we will click Add Images. Alright, so you can see what it's doing. It's lined up the images ready for the gallery. Again, we're able to select the size of the images if we like. So if you decide that you're trying to get something just pixel perfect and you want your image gallery to be exactly the right size, you can specify a size for each thumbnail if you like. Otherwise, you can just leave this blank and it'll default to thumbnail, and that's fine. Okay, so we click Save Changes, and we must be really getting somewhere now. I'm going to click Update, and We'll wait for that to upload. You can see from the little busy sign that's up here what it's doing. Alright, we'll come out here and we'll click refresh. And it's not taking us very long at all to get this page together. Remember, this is just a bare bones template, so there's nothing very special happening here. This is just for me to show you what's going on. Alright, so just waiting for the gallery to get its ass again. Okay, click on one of these images, and you can see that it comes up with a larger image. They aren't terribly large in this one. They were small images just from the very beginning. Okay, so you can see that that works. We've got our image gallery down here. And now what we'll do is we'll have a play around with rows and columns. Okay, so one of the cool things that Visual Composer does is it doesn't, well, it does put everything into rows, but then furthermore it allows us to divide those rows up into columns. The way that we do that is, you can see here, or at least I hope you can see anyway, there's a grey box going around all the content that we've added so far. Here at the top of the grey box, there's a couple of buttons. The one that you're going to play with most of all is this one here that's in the middle. This is the one that allows us to divide the row up into columns. Now, if you've got a keen eye, you'll see that the icons here are sort of representative of ratios. And if I hover over one, you can see that it's actually indicating that as well. This one's saying a half-half, and I think this one's 2/3, 1/3. Yeah, exactly. So these buttons here divide our row into columns. So if I click on one, you can see that half-half has gone and created a second division over here on the right-hand side. It's completely empty, it hasn't got any content. If I come back over to this button one more time and I click on all thirds, you'll see that it creates 3 columns. And that's pretty cool. There's lots of stuff you can do with that. Let's just go back to half-half. And that's what we'll leave our page as. Just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to click update one more time. And we'll go back out to the website. And we click refresh. And we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see what's going on. All of a sudden our page is cramped up into half a page. And over here on the right hand side, there's no content at all. Alright, so if we go back over here into the back end, what we're able to do next, I'm sure you understand this by now, but I'm going to go through it anyway. As I hover over to the content, you can see that there's this cool little green menu that pops up wherever I go. It's following me like the Pied Piper. Okay, so it's got a number of functions, this little button, this little control bar. The first one is the drag and drop. So using this button, I'm able to click on an item and then drag it down to another position somewhere in the page. So in this case, I've gone and moved the text underneath an image, but just above the image gallery. Now, I'm also able to do that into other columns, of course. So what we'll do is we'll just grab this text and we'll just go and put it over here into this column here. Okay, very good. All right, so what we'll do next is we'll put our image gallery underneath this bit of text here. Okay, so one more time I'm going to drag this and then I'm just going to put it underneath my text, and all working very well, and we're looking pretty good. Alright, so if I click update now, and we'll just wait for the busy signal to finish. Okay, click refresh. Okay, and we should see our content starting to take shape into 2 columns. And looking cool. Alright, so you can see what's going on. We've got our heading, we've got our single image, we've got our text, and we've got our image gallery here. It's all looking a little bit wonky at the moment. We're able to fix that pretty easily. We might actually do that just quickly because it's a valuable lesson to learn. Okay, so basically what needs to happen is we need some empty space over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some empty space. So remember, if we want to add something at the top or the bottom, we've got these pluses. We actually want to add something at the top of this text because we want some empty space here at the top. Okay, so what we do is we click plus, and there's actually a thing here, an element I should say, to speak properly. I should click on this element here that says empty space. It's as simple as that. All it's going to do is just add some empty space. And it's going to ask us how many pixels of empty space we want. In this case, I'm estimating, and you do have to guesstimate a little bit with these things. I'm saying it's about 100 pixels. You know, it's okay to get it wrong in the first place. Just have another go. It's alright. We're supposed to be having fun here. Okay, so wait for that to finish, and now we click refresh, and I think we'll find that it's going to start looking a little bit better. Okay, that's much better. It could do with another 10 pixels, but that's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so the page is looking, it's really coming along now. What we might do is we might add a video as well, because they're very, very useful. But I don't want the video in one of these little columns. I want a nice big video. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another row, and the way we do that is you can see there's a plus here. That's all by itself down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to click on that, and of course there's a video player element. So I'm going to click on that, and let's just run quickly out to YouTube and grab a video. Yep, sorry. Okay, all right, so Iggy Pop, do we dare? Okay, just pause that. It's only the URL we need, so we're just going to copy that URL, and we just head back over our backend. And you can see here that after we clicked video player, we've had a new screen open up that allows us to set up the video player. All we need is to paste in our video link. So we just copied the URL from the YouTube video. We've come over here into the back end and we've pasted it into the video link. Click Save Changes. And then we click Update one more time. Okay, cracking pace with setting. Okay, click Refresh. And we should have a nice big video here right at the bottom. Okay. All right. And there's our video, Iggy Pop, looking totally rock and roll, or like a very old rock and roller anyway. All right, so we were talking about the magic green menu. We said that we had our drag and drop, and we've had a look at that. The magic green pencil is what comes next, and if I click on that, on any of the elements that we might hover over, what it's going to do is it's going to open up our edit screen one more time, the same as what we were presented with when we first inserted the element, and it's going to allow us to change the element settings. I won't do that right now, but as you can see, if I wanted to change the text, I can click the pencil here over the text, and it's going to allow me to change the text however I need to. That's Visual Composer being nice and predictable. So here it is, and I can play around with that however I like. There are two more buttons that I'll show you just very quickly. This third one is the copy button. And that's pretty cool because it makes copies of things, predictably enough. Let's just go and put some text over here because, you know, more text is always better. We'll put it underneath there. Okay, and deciding that we don't want that text anymore, the last button on the magic green menu is the garbage bin. So I'm just going to click on that, and it shows you this little prompt up here at the top. I don't know why it's at the top, it just is. And it's saying, are you sure you really want to delete that? And we're saying, yes, we do. And that's it for the magic green menu. Remember, we've got our drag and drop, we've got our magic pencil, which allows us to edit things, and then we've got our clone button, which predictably enough clones things. So if we click update now, we should be able to see everything in all its glory on the page, and that would be our page completed. Okay, so although I don't think I'm going to see any changes in this, I think we're pretty much done. Okay, looking good. Alright, so that is Visual Composer. That is a crash course. Hopefully that made sense to you, and yeah, if you had already sat down with us and done your training session, then that would be a nice refresher and should put the training wheels back on your tricycle. So if you have any questions, just hit us up here at Bloom360. We're always happy to help, and otherwise I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.